So students, you are once again welcomed in this video session in this online program, and we were discussing Hopkins' poem The Sea and the Skylark. So in my first lecture I have discussed the life of Hopkins and the characteristics of his poetry, and I also introduce the themes which he has discussed in this poem. I have given you an introduction of the poem also, and we have also discussed the first stanza. Now look at the second stanza. Left hand off land, I hear the lark ascend. His rash, fresh, rewinded, new scanned score. In crisps of curl of wild, winch will, and pour and pelt music, till none is to spill nor spend. Look at the language and look at the new words which he has used in this stanza. So this is the second stanza of the poem, and in this the poet describes the flight of a skylark. A skylark is a bird. The bird flies smoothly. There is an extraordinary flexibility in the bird's flight. It seems that it flies without making any effort. The poet refers his flight in these words: in crisps of curl off, wild winch will. The poet compares the bird with a scan of pool. In other words, as the kite is controlled by a string and the string is gathered upon a reel, in the same way the skylark flies by making up and down and zigzag movements. At the same time, it fills the atmosphere with melodious music, with sweet music. The poet refers the bird songs in these words: pour and pelt music. The poet is also astonished by this fact that there seems no end to the bird's music. So, left hand off land, I hear the lark ascend. Like the skylark ascend means fly. It is the flight of the skylark. His rash, fresh, rewinded, new scanned score. And it moves, it flies very rashly, without any order. Sometimes it goes one way, the other times it goes another way. In crisps of curl of wind, winch and wail, and sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. And pour and pelt music. The bird is flying simultaneously. It is also chirping. It is also giving its music. And it seems that there will not be no end of the bird song. So how beautifully Hopkins has described the flight of the bird, in words. You can also feel that how zigzag way and how in a very disorderly way the birds fly. We say that disorderly, but this is the pattern of the bird's flight. So I hope that you have got the point. Now, look at the third stanza. How these two shame this shallow and frail town, how ring out our sordid turbidine, being pure, we life's pride and care for crown. So the last 6 lines are interconnected. We life's pride and care for crown. I look at the other. Have lost their cheer and charm of earth's past prime. Our make and making break are breaking down. to man's last dust, drain fast towards man's first line. Now, look at these 2 lines, 6 lines. So, in the last 6 lines, the poet regrets the loss of a human being's superiority. Human beings are the supreme creation of God, but they have lost their status due to immoral activities. Immoral means due to unethical activity, due to wrong practices. They are out of tune with nature, and there are many causes of that. The urbanization has robbed of all the beauty of nature. As the urbanization is progressing, it is destroying nature. The nature has been pushed off. The people have become very materialistic. More and more industries are being set up, and the nature is pushed back. The growing industrialization is creating havoc. It is creating a great up and down in the nature. Therefore, by practicing all these unethical things, unethical practices, man have lost the cheer and charm of earth's past prime. So this is the one aspect that we have lost our superiority. But there are many other ways, because we have become so immoral. We are not true to nature. We are not true even to ourselves. We are not truth. We are not honest to ourselves. We are using all the methods to deceive other people. In other words, you can say that we have degraded ourselves by our you can say that wrong activities, by our wrongdoings. How these two shame this shallow and frail town. Frail town means the town in which we are living. It may be any town, it is a modern town. How ring out our sordid trouble time. That how we have reversed our time, how we have made the situation very bad and ugly. Being pure. The poet reminds us that the God has created us a very pure. Pure in the way that we have been given all good qualities. We would be helpful to others. We would inculcate good habits. We should do something good for the society. But that's why that we have been given the title, we lies pride and cared for crown. So we were the crown of all the creation of God. In other words, the God has made us superior to all others, but have lost the charm of earth's past prime. Our make and making break are breaking down. So that's why that there is a degradation in our life. So in other words, we can say that in the concluding lines of the poem, the last lines, the poet points out that human beings were created by mud. Similarly, after death, we would once again mix with mud. In other words, there is no stability in our existence. There is no progress. We have been created by mud, and when we die, we should mix with the soil, with the dust. So there is no stability. There is no permanent existence of our lives on this earth. The poet explained this fact in these words: making break or breaking down. In this way, the things which we were made of are breaking down. We are further going down. The passing of each moment is bringing us to our end. Therefore, it is useless to practice unethical practices, unethical doings. We should stop all the immoral activities. These practices, these things would attract the anger of God and would torment our soul after death. If we continue all these activities till end, then the God would be angry upon us. The poem gives us a moral lesson that we should follow the righteous path. We should always follow, we should always perform good deeds on the earth. So that's why the God would be happy, and He would certainly reward when the day of judgment would come. So I hope that this is a very influential poem. It reminds us the existence of human beings on this earth, how they have degraded themselves. But the poets reminds us that if we follow the righteous path, we would attain that status which has been given by God to us, and that is the superiority, the crown of all creation. I hope that you have enjoyed the poem. Thank you very much.